Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanam Sri Krishna Lila Kathane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaisha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purushamantam Narayanam Tvam Sirasa Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Shri Krishna Padavya Vrudaikavadi Chaitanya Lila Amrita Sara Saram Narayanam Tvam Satatham Prapadye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Let me offer millions of distances of Sita Gurudev, Upana Guru Nam and Ishta Santa Chanakam Koti Dhanavat, all assembled, present, past, future Vaishnavas, Yatavat Dandavat Pranam, Vancha Kalpataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Today, our question and answers day, 13th October, actually 7th October, Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami. One day. 100 years, more than 100 years. Very, very senior Vishnu. Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciple. Very humble. I had his darshan in Navadvip by luckily 86, 87. Amazing person. Then 13th October is Vijayadashmi, Lord Ramchandra's Shubha Vijaya Mahotsav. And also appearance day of Madhvacharya. And then 14th October is Papankusha Ekadasi. Then 17th October is Purnima. Kartik begins. Kartik Vrata, Damodar Vrata, Vruja Vrata, Niyam Seva, all that. Also disappearance day of Param Gurudev, Bhakti Prajnan Keshav Goswami. And then also Deepdan begins that day. Then Govardhan Puja is 2nd November. And then Radha Kund appeared 25th October. Yama Deepadan, 30th October. By doing Deepdan outside, remembering Yama, untimely death will not happen. Then 15th November is the end of Kartik. Now we were Uh, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada. Wow, great personality. Uh, like last time I told, his question and answer. Then trying to finish. Uh, why all people do not understand spiritual topics about the ultimate goal of human life? Now, this one question. Um, his answer is without good fortune, how can they understand? For that, they must have good past impressions. Only those who are fortunate surrender to the lotus feet of a spiritual master and devotees of Lord Krishna, Vishnu, and listen to narrations of his pastimes. They are able to understand spiritual topics by the mercy of Bhagavan. However, those who do not take sufficient care to study a subject cannot understand its essence. Those who reach a hasty conclusions about ascertaining the absolute truth are unable to understand it. Such persons cannot spare even a little time to study comprehensive knowledge or the truth about the Supreme Lord. We have grown up in a society which is so materialistic that we cannot spare even a moment to investigate what is eternal and what is uh, spiritual Paramatma. In other words, since childhood we grew up in a society in which materialism is so prevalent that we cannot spare a moment to discuss eternal or spiritual life. Our 24 hours in a day are spent in work or various mundane activities. We do not try to understand who we really are. The scriptures tell us that every moment of human life should be spent in discussing and contemplating spiritual topics. A wise man does not spend his invaluable life trying to satisfy his material senses. All living entities should think about their well being. All living entities should think about their well being. In this way, we should be selfish. See, when we say selfish, it looks like a bad word, right? Um, Actually, it is not. If you think about for your spiritual well being, that is not selfish. But we think materially, like for example, sometimes we think it's selfish. Actually, that is bad because it is selfish, meaning if you are trying to fulfill the senses, mundane, which is temporary, then that selfishness is wrong because there is no good is not going to come out of, right? But in a spiritual aspect, if you become selfish, it's going to bring you eternal benefit. So that is beneficial. So that way you are a winner, everybody is a winner. In this way, we are all losers. That way. However, most people only remain engaged in worldly activities. They spend their childhood playing sports and games, their youth executing occupational duties pertaining to household life, and their old age, protecting property and trying to preserve the body. They remain completely indifferent to spiritual life and love of God, which is the ultimate goal of life. This is very unfortunate. Materialistic people say that there is no need to worry about one's present situation and the welfare of the soul. If one does not complete school during childhood, one will suffer later during adulthood. One concerned for the welfare of society is also concerned for his own welfare, along with the welfare of others. One should take special care to ensure that his service to Bhagavan, which is the occupational duty of every living entity, is not hampered by indulgence in sense gratification. Some people advocate avoiding sins, papakaryas, and doing virtuous deeds, punya karma. But this is not enough. A wise man always considers the relationship between his eternal spiritual position and his current duties. When we fail to do so, we will encounter difficulties. Without proper understanding, one must face the consequences of one's current activities in the future. Many types of inconveniences surround you if you do not utilize your time properly. People remain engrossed in the anxieties of family life and this transitory material world during their youth. They think that in old age they will contemplate and discuss spiritual topics regarding life after death. However, their well being will not be attained by such procrastination. So, now the question, next question. Is Varnashrama Dharma eternal? Varnashrama Dharma, is it eternal? Huh? Answer. Saraswati. Every living entity regards the material body, which is merely an outer covering of the soul, huh, to be the soul. I am a servant of eternal. I am a servant of eternal Bhagavan. It is my eternal duty or religion, dharma, to serve Bhagavan. I do not belong to any social division, such as Brahmana, twice born, or priest, or Kshatriya, or to any spiritual division, ashrama, such as Brahmachari, celibate student, or Gruhastha householder. Therefore, how can Varnashram Dharma be my eternal Dharma? By following Varnashram Dharma properly, one will have a smooth life in this world and in the next. As long as the material body remains, Varnashrama Dharma also remains. This is necessary for the auspiciousness of the global community. It is applicable within the 14 planetary system of this universe, according to the particular conditions therein. However, Varnashram Dharma does not apply to the eternal world. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am not a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, or a Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, or Sannyasi. My relationship is only with Bhagavan. I am his servant. If I do not forget him, my life will be totally auspicious. Bhagavan is sentient, Chetana, and the Jiva, living entity, is also sentient. The Jiva is a plenary portion, Amsha of Bhagavan. He is not Vibhu Chetana, all pervading consciousness. But is Anuchetana, an atomic particle of consciousness. The living entity is dependent on Bhagavan, but in his present state is abusing his consciousness and free will, which is why he is undergoing degradation. When we give up service to Bhagavan, we suffer. And when we serve him, we attain auspiciousness. Yeah. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Answer. Chaitanya Deva did not first appear 2000 or 10,000 years ago. Rather, is an eternal, primeval person, Nitya Sanatana person. He is Purushottama, the Supreme Personality. He is beginningless. He is the origin of all and is the cause of all causes. His appearance is not subject to any time limit. The three aspects of time, past, present, and future, manifest from him. He is the Supreme Spiritual Person, not a mass of bones and flesh. He is the primeval personality of Godhead. He is the supreme doer. He is Parabrahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. He is directly Krishna. He is the source of all incarnations. He is endowed with all opulences. He is the Supreme Lord. He is Swayam Bhagavan. Sri Chaitanya Deva is an ocean of mercy. No one can show mercy like him. Even other incarnations of Bhagavan do not bestow as much mercy. His unprecedented mercy bestows qualification on the unqualified, and it is complete and eternal. He is Bhagavan personally giving himself to us. Such charity was never granted before, and such a charitable act was never heard of before. Fruity workers, mystics, and mental speculators or philosophers are completely incapable of experiencing the beauty of the love that he bestowed. Only the most fortunate can do so. This is why I say that you should take time to listen to the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Leaving aside all other thoughts, one can worship Bhagavan and become peaceful by hearing the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is far beyond an ordinary human being. By such hearing, a desire may arise to have Bhagavan as a son. When the desire of men and women to unite with each other in marriage and have children is replaced by love and devotion to Bhagavan, they are no longer interested in worldly parent child relationships. A parent may consider his child to be his own, but in reality, a child is a spirit soul who belongs only to Lord Krishna. Once a parent develops Krishna consciousness, he no longer sees his child as his own, but as part and parcel of Lord Krishna. Only if we direct all of our emotions toward the feet of Bhagavan will those emotions have real meaning. The five mellows of neutrality, servitorship, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal affection are fully present in Bhagavan. Those whose sentiments are directed towards temporary bodies and objects are unable to know Bhagavan. Bhagavad Vastu contains complete knowledge and bliss. We make great efforts to know Bhagavan. The Lord of Goloka, Golokapati, has appeared near our home in the form of a human being, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In order to give us specific instructions, we should greatly endeavor to know him. But if we do not listen to his words and we make many futile attempts, then how will we be able to attain him? In other words, we will not be able to attain him. Why did Mahaprabhu, this is a question, why did Mahaprabhu say that one of the most important instructions of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, surrender unto, surrender unto me, giving up all temporary dharmas related to the body and mind, is external. See, right? This question comes. So, answer is, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, Mahaprabhu told Ramananda ji that great statement in Gita is external. Yoho Bahya, Age Kaho Ara. Because devotional service, bhakti, is the natural function of the soul. For that, God doesn't have to try to convince someone to become a devotee by giving him a promise letter. A devotee, out of love and affection, is always naturally busy only for the pleasure of Bhagavan. If a father has to give some incentive to see his son in order to receive some service, what is the glory of that son? If a father has to give some incentive, understand? Some sweet or some money to his son in order to receive some service, what is the glory of that son? Instead of a devotee personally serving Bhagavan with a sense of belonging to him, we see quite the opposite. In other words, Bhagavan has to tell you that you should serve him, and then he will free you from all sins. Here, the devotee has not only forgotten Bhagavan, but has also forgotten himself, his eternal nature, and his eternal existence, and thus is serving impermanent objects and trying to be a lord over them. That's why Mahaprabhu referred to the important instructions of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as being external to indicate the superiority of pure devotional service and lead to the most exalted topic of Raja Bhakti. He said, Aage kaho, tell me more, go further. Jai Jai. Gaur Harti ki Jai, Gaur Harti ki Jai. गौरा बोलिया जाओ का जीवन कितना चाहिए मान गौरा बोलिया जाओ का गौरा करे बन पार गौरा नयने रसा गौरा वेदे रसा गौरा गौरा गौर 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 So what is an examination? What is an exactly examination? No pariksha, right? Exam. And the answer is given. In order to help students advance. Teachers conduct examinations. Students who are assiduous and intelligent enjoy an examination. But those who have no interest in studying become fearful and discouraged at the prospect of an examination. Those who only speak about topics related to objects of sense enjoyment, which appeal to ordinary persons, encounter no resistance. But those who speak to others about service to Bhagavan, about the eternal function of the soul, and about devotional service, which is the treasure of life, face resistance at every step, which may discourage them. Travelers on the path of devotion should know very well that adversities and obstacles come so that they can evaluate their devotional service. In other words, difficulties come to test our devotion. Understand? Difficulties come to test our devotion. Such adversities and obstacles come in order to help us advance on the path of devotional service, Bhakti Marg. During difficult times, we should remain steady by remembering the example of Namacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur, the embodiment of ideal tolerance and forbearance. In other words, during difficulties, we should be inspired by the examples of Namacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur, and Bhaktaraja, Sri Prahlad Maharaj, and strive to remain steadfast. By endeavoring to obtain temporary objects, we are cheated of our well-being for hundreds of births. If an ordinary person can make great sacrifice for the sake of insignificant sense objects, cannot a wise person or fortunate devotee dedicate this temporary life to Bhagavan, who is the absolute truth in past, present, and future? In other words, if thousands of times non-devotees overcome difficulties, obstacles, and even sacrifice their lives for trivial matters, cannot an intelligent devotee dedicate this fleeting life to Bhagavan? No? So, next question. Why do people go to places of pilgrimage, tirthas? Answer. A tirtha is a pastime place of devotees and Bhagavan. Persons having pious merit go to places of pilgrimage to get association with devotees, service to devotees, and service to Bhagavan, which results from the former two. Sinners maintain sinners maintain their tendency to sin, and they go to places of pilgrimage only to avoid the consequences of their sinning and to gain prestige. However, the Vaishnava Vrinda, devotees who are beloved to Lord Krishna, perform the pastimes of visiting places of pilgrimage in order to transform non pilgrimage sites into pilgrimage sites and to purify contaminated places of pilgrimage. Feeling spiritually intoxicated by service to their Lord, they continue searching for Him in a mood of separation. Then next question. Should both renunciation, tyaga, renunciation, and sense enjoyment be abandoned? So answer is same. Mahaprabhu asked us to renounce both tyaga and bhoga, renunciation and enjoyment. enjoyment. Bhoga means to enjoy the objects of the senses, such as beautiful forms, taste, and fragrance by one's senses, including the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Although this sense enjoyment gives pleasure for some time, the end result is terrible suffering. That's why renunciation is superior to sense enjoyment. Real renunciation is very good, but in the case of pseudo renunciation, kapatayu, one utters neti, neti, not this, not this, abandons the objects of the senses, and finally abandons even Bhagavan and devotees. Such pseudo renunciation is actually a form of sense gratification. Mayavadis, impersonalists or monists, consider the material world to be false and regard every object of the material world to be temporary and false. Thus they utter, this is not real, this is not real, renouncing the material world and every object in it. Unfortunately, they consider both Bhagavan and his devotional service to be worldly or illusory things, and thus they abandon them. Considering this material world to be full of misery, they want to be liberated from it. They want to eliminate distress, and they think that the bliss of liberation is the greatest enjoyment. The idea of the monists that the material world is false and impure, like the stool of a crow, is utterly mistaken. In reality, this material world is created by Sri Bhagavan, who is endowed with all powers or energies. If we regard Bhagavan's material creation to be false, then it means that we do not accept Bhagavan's energy. The real meaning of the scripture is that all things in the material world are real but temporary, perishable. The propensity to enjoy sense objects prevents one from realizing that all material objects are actually instruments meant to serve Bhagavan. It creates the misconception in one's heart that I am the enjoyer. A person trapped in the quagmire of trying to enjoy sense objects considers himself to be the enjoyer and proprietor of the material world. Renunciation also turns one away from devotional service. It also prevents one from understanding that all things in this world are meant for the service of Bhagavan. In renunciation, one feels that all objects of this world cause distress and bondage. So, abandoning them to be one's benefit. In this way, one commits an offense to the lotus feet of Bhagavan, to devotional service, and to devotees. All objects of this world are the opulence and glory of the Lord. Forms and tastes, for example, are objects of the senses, and the senses can never be detached from their sense objects. Even if some people are able to restrain their external senses, such as the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, they may still try to relish sense objects internally via the mind. If one attempts to artificially or prematurely renounce sense objects by becoming detached from these external senses, one will likely experience bodily discomfort or pain. A devotee, a devotee neither enjoys nor renounces sense objects. He regards them to be objects of Bhagavan's service and engages them in his service. A devotee gives up attachment to sense objects and only accepts what is necessary for the survival of the body. Considering himself to be Bhagavan's servant, he remains continually engaged in his service. Renunciation and sense gratification are not functions of the soul. Renunciation and sense gratification are not functions of the soul. Service, seva, is its only eternal function. Liberated souls are always absorbed in the service of their Lord in Vaikuntha. Fortunate conditioned living entities who want to become free are purified from the conditioned state. Neither engage the sense objects provided by Bhagavan in their personal sense gratification, nor renounce them, considering them to be the cause of distress. They only accept things that are favorable for Bhagavan's service and renounce things that are unfavorable. Um, See, today the question and answer, this is also question and answers. Okay. So, but we will get to our questions. But this book is, it will be 3 volumes, about almost 700 plus questions. I'm still in 50 questions. Ah. Uh, all the, you will not have any questions once you read this book. So, we should pray so that we can buy somehow at least get the first volume out by Kartik. Uh, Question 51. Who is Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhu? Uh, Answer. Yes, this is answer. Sri Rupa Goswami is an eternally perfected associate of Bhagavan. He is a Jagat Guru, spiritual master of the whole world and leader of all devotees. He is the Gopi, covered damsel, known as Sri Rupa Manjari in Krishna Leela. He is a confidential devotee of Sri Gaurasundara. He is not an ordinary living entity. He is, but he is part of the Swarupa Shakti Tattva, internal potency of the Lord. He is a beloved maid servant of Srimati Radhika ji. A speciality of Sri Rupa Goswami is that he was the most beloved devotee of Sri Gaurasundara. No one could understand the feelings of Lord Gauranga's heart like he could. The most confidential sentiments of Sri Gaurasundara's heart can manifest only in the heart of living entities who are followers of Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami and Sri Rupa Goswami. Everyone is indebted to Sri Rupa Goswami. As long as the Sri Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya exists in this world, no one will be able to forget the unprecedented contribution of Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhu is an object of our eternal worship. He lives on the lap, chest, and head of Sri Krishna. Krishna always carries him on his shoulder and head. He is very dear to Lord Krishna. We only aspire for the dust of his lotus feet. Our hope and faith are only at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. How can Krishna's service be attained? Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu said that his service is attained only by the grace of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. The farther away we are from the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami, the farther away we are from the lotus feet of Lord Sri Gaurasundara. Only those who follow in the footsteps of Sri Rupa Goswami are qualified for devotional service to Krishna. Sri Rupa Goswami Ji, the living ideal of the Krishna Bhakti. In the eyes of ordinary historians, he was a disciple of his elder brother Sri Sanatana Goswami. However, even Sri Sanatana Goswami aspired for the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami Ji. Sri Sanatana Goswami Ji said that one who is not a recipient of the mercy of Rupa Goswami cannot attain service to Sri Radha Govinda. When followers of Karma Kanda and Brahmajnana tried to suppress devotional service, there was a need of Sri Gaurasundara's commanders in chief to destroy their power. At that time, there were two prominent commanders under Lord Chaitanya, Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Sanatana Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami was the commander in chief, and the Rupanuga Vaishnavas were his army. Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami was the lord of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. He alone consolidated the army in order to defeat the Karmi, Jnani, Yogi Sampradayas, whose members had extraneous desires and were opposed to the practice of devotional service. That Rupanuga army did not have ordinary weapons or missiles. Its only weapon was kirtan. Lord Sri Gaurasundara empowered Sri Rupa Goswami in Prayaga and taught him how to defeat the sects opposed to devotional service to Lord Krishna and how one can protect oneself from distress. By diligently discussing and studying how those commanders fought the war with the help of their army of devotees, we can also fire back against the teachings and opinions of the sects opposed to devotional service. In this way, we can eliminate asad vritti, tendency to adopt the bad behavior and character of non-devotees, abandoning one's prescribed duties or adopting duties meant for others, propensity to expect material fruits or results, perpetual perpetual desires other than the aspiration to bring happiness to Sri Krishna. Hearsay and heterodoxy, atheism, and mixed mood. Sri Jiva Goswami was like a lion in the army of Rupanuga Vaishnavas. He refuted all asat, untrue doctrines, using the arrows of his uttering opinion, arrows of his unerring opinions. Sri Jiva Goswami and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami were followers of Sri Rupa, the commander. We can discover the valuable legacy that Sri Rupa Goswami entrusted to his followers by submissively approaching the writings of Sri Narottam Thakur and Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. We get that priceless wealth of devotional service coming from Sri Rupa Goswami only if we desire it sincerely without duplicity. When we attain his qualities of saundarya, beauty, sweetness, topmost mercy and kindness, we will have no regard for ugliness, deformity, and we will only see splendor, lovely pastimes. People all over the world have become mad for superficial worldly beauty. However, when we can recognize that such apparent beauty is actually ugly, we will spit at it. The spiritual form by which one renders service to Lord Krishna is now covered by material designation. There are two types of upadhis, mental designation and physical or bodily designation. There are two types of upadhis, mental and bodily. Unaware of this, of their spiritual form, conditioned souls become a karmi, one with desires other than to serve Krishna, speculative philosopher, or mystic transcendentalist. At various times, one thinks he is a human being, devata, demigod, priest or a scholar, fool, rich person, poor person, father, son, brahmana, monk, wealth and prosperity, beautiful bodies of women, and prestige attract us. What will we not do to achieve them? Will we aspire even one time to see the beautiful Sri Gaurasundara described by Rupa Goswami? One can access the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami through loving eyes and the inclination to render humble devotional service that is free from duplicity. When our devotional service, worship, possessions, and current and future lifetimes are dedicated to the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami, we can fully attain Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus, the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami are our only hope and anchor, and His mercy is our only shelter. This is our prayer. Adadana trunam dante ridam yache punah punah Srimad Rupa Padamboja Duli Swayam Janma Janmani. So, holding a piece of straw between my teeth, I pray very humbly and submissively that I may become a particle of dust at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami, life after lifetime. Now, this next question, after this, we will take another question. See, what is the difference between karma, worldly action? Okay, what is the difference between worldly action and pastimes, lila? Huh? Because look both, or similar, something like. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. There is a difference of heaven and earth between karma and the lila. Huh? There is a difference, heaven and earth and heaven. This is a good saying, far, far apart. Karma involves the material senses, while lila, pastimes, involve the spiritual senses that are inclined to render service. The material world is the ground for karma, the basis of which is a gross or subtle body. Karma takes place in the material world by the gross or subtle body. Karma is temporary because it is performed by the temporary body. Spiritual pastimes are eternal and they involve spiritual senses. Karma is like a punishment for the living entities bound by the illusory potency, and it is the cause of the threefold miseries. On the contrary, Leela are blissful, playful activities arising from the unbridled desire of Sarva Tantra Swatantra Purushottama, Supreme Personality of Godhead. The realms of spiritual pastimes are Vaikuntha and Goloka, which are situated beyond the 14 planetary systems uh, of the material world, even beyond the Viraja river and Brahmaloka or Mukti Loka, the abode of liberation. The spiritual pastime may be introduced into the material world by the arrangement and the desire of Bhagavan's pastime potency, Leela Shakti. However, those spiritual pastimes are not tainted by worldly qualities because they are transcendental to the scope of the mundane senses and inconceivable in nature. This is the conception of Gaudiya philosophy. Uh, should we go on or you have some questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Gurudeva. Please tell me.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Question is, Pitru Puja should be performed by son only. If there is no male issue, who will perform this yearly Pindadana to the parents? Is that any one son can do or all sons can do? The Vishnupada Radhikai Priya Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Katana Sudaksham Avda Haryamadu Yagunai Sayyukam Varam Varem Purushamantam Narayanam Sirasanam Pridandinam Bhakta Shiromani Shri Krishna Padavya Udaitam Chaitanya Leelam Bhuta Sara Saram Nara Pitru Puja, Pitru, like this Mahalaya, Mahalaya, Pitru Paksha. Uh, Actually, it can be done by anyone, not necessarily. But why they say it should be done by a son? Reason is it can be. So the son will have an attachment to the father, forefather. You know, that is the thing. Because he has seen them, he has some obligation. He feels that he indebted for them because they brought him up. So like that. But it can be done by anyone. Like here in these questions, actually, truly we are the children of Bhagavan. You know? Actually, nobody is our son or a father. Of course, we had many bodily sons and fathers, right? Daughters, mothers, bodily related. But for the soul, only Lord. So, devotees, best way to do is Pitru Paksha, or is like the way we do, offer Supreme Lord Bhoga. First, what we do in the morning, the yajna, Nama Sankirtan. We offer that chanting to those people. When they hear that holy name, see what more is there. Because they are desiring, uh, they are and offer that chanting to them. Nam japa. There is no higher gift than offering the chanting of the holy name. So we we, we invoke appearance of actually every day the Pitru Paksha, Pitru Devata, uh, come on their behalf and accept and they deliver to them. And so it is an eternal benefit. And the bhoga afterwards, bhoga that is offered to Bhagavan, prasadam, we offer it to the again same Pitru Devatas and they offer to them. It's a spiritual food. So that can be done by anyone. And especially a son who he has regards, love and affection will be there. But more love and affection is there for devotees who have become devotees for this purpose. Because they understand the spiritual aspect, eternal spiritual aspect. The forefathers were maybe, they are also spiritual, spirit souls. Their real desire is to actually become devotees. Like in one of these questions happening. It is natural. The soul has a anuraga, love and affection for the Lord. Naturally. We don't need any, gifts from the Lord to attract us. We are naturally attracted. We feel so much bliss by doing that service. That's why it is anya vilashita, does not expect anything. It is natural. So, for that purpose. And any son or anybody can do, or all of them can do. And by doing that, they also get benefited. See, this is the thing. Those people who do also get benefited. And it can be like one question came out. Does it have to be do especially only during this time or any time? It can be done this time specifically and also any time. If you miss it, it can be done even like today. We did it for one person today evening. Because they forgot or we didn't get in time the photo. So it can also be done. But that is the special time allotted by the higher power so that we can dedicate for the remembrance of the our Pitrus, forefathers. Because in this busy every day, every time, one paksha, one fortnight is meant for that. So during that time, whatever, actually Pitru Paksha, the way ideal to do is, whatever chanting you have done, and at least one Ekadasi would have come, right? 15 days. Offer that fruit of Ekadasi and chanting to the forefathers. And that's it. Wherever they are, they will be liberated. So you don't need to do again next year Pitru Paksha because they will not be there. Okay. But still you do, because our effort may not be complete or anything. So, other, you know, actually, if you Prahlad Maharaj, Narasimha Bhagavan, gives promise. If you become even a Kanishta Bhakta, your 7 generations will be delivered, become devotee. Middle, Madhyama, 14 generations. Uttam, 21 generations. Oof. So the best Pitru puja is to become a devotee. Okay. Because he naturally delivered at least 7 generations. Okay. Become a devotee, even an ordinary devotee, yeah, delivering 7 generations. But still, we do this, I'm not discouraging or anything. Do Pitru Paksha also. Uh, but the real thing, what I'm telling, is to become devotee. So, if there is no male issue, will come. Like anyone, a devotee or somebody, he can get it done by others who is sincere, understand the significance, and it will go. But Ekadasi, it can be offered by anyone. Uh, the soul is not male or female. Bodily, this body, external, like the designation, male, female, like. But anyone can do. So spiritually, from Vaishnava point of view. So best is you become a devotee, right? Minimum, minimum kanishta. Then that is real Pitru puja. Not just ordinary Pitru, 7 generations. And they become devotees and their 7 generations. Ooh, it's like, the whole thing is amazing, amazing. Any other questions? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is there any difference between the soul of an ordinary human being and the soul of the companions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Or are the souls of men and animals equal to the souls of direct companions of God? Or is there no difference between the souls? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was explaining, the soul is Chinmaya, is an atomic particle. Uh, on one level, all the souls are same, but on the other hand, their pravurti is different. Uniqueness is there in bhakti. and different levels of bhakti. Like, for example, uh, how do I say? We have, we are all humans, right? Of course, just a mundane example I'm giving. Mundane example. Male and female. Our content is what? Same blood, bones, this, right? Every human being contains blood, bone, different kind of blood, O group and all that may be there, you know. But they appear different, their understanding is different, their love towards God is different, and their uniqueness is there, like fingerprint, iris, DNA is unique. Nobody else has these things. So same way, all the spirit souls are same in that sense. But they have uniqueness. Every soul is unique with respect to bhakti, devotion, their bhava, their anuraga, love, their love towards the Lord. A different flavor, unique in them. So that's why there is some difference. Huh? Uh, you know, in this world also, see, every car, motor vehicle, but then the motor vehicle identification number, right, is unique, is it not? No two vehicles. Even if you buy from the same company, people buy, but they will have different numbers, is it not? Registration number, motor vehicle registration number. Uniquely identify that particular vehicle. So same way, the souls also have a unique bhakti and different levels of bhakti. Some staying only in Golok Vrindavan, some in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, some in Mathura, Gola, uh, Dwarka, some in Ayodhya, Vaikunta, like that, different levels. And even within Golok Vrindavana, different levels are there. Of course, the gopis are the highest associates, bhakti, devotion. So there is a gradation is there. But the spiritual entity, they are all spiritual in nature, transcendental, chinmaya. But their pravritti, bhakti is different level. And that is the highest for them. See, you should not think from, from the level of watching, we can see the difference. But for them, that is the highest. We should not think one is higher, one is low. For them, that is the highest. Okay? And they are happy. Hanuman, for example, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, uh, Gupta, Murari Gupta, who is incarnation of Hanuman. You are chanting Ram name. Please chant Krishna's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then Murari Gupta went home and he tried to do that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare. But then the thing came out, no, I'm attached, my Supreme Master is Sri Ramachandra, Sita Ram. How can I give them up? No. But on the other hand, how can I disregard the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? No, I cannot do that. I cannot give up the service to Sitaram. So he was crying. What to do? No, no. So he came running morning to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord, please forgive me. I cannot follow your instruction. And also I cannot give up my service to Sitaram. What to do? I please give me permission to give up my life. See, this is the situation he was in. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what did he say? No, you are glorious because you cannot give up service to Sitaram. And Sitaram is also glorious because they have such a great devotee servant like you who cannot give up their service, lotus feet. So for Hanuman, serving Sitaram, chanting Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Sitaram, Sitaram, is the highest for him. There is nothing wrong in that. Okay? So for others is Hare Krishna Mantra, Gopis. It is highest for them. But still we understand from the thing that the highest is actually Radha Krishna service. Of course, Sitaram is who is Sitaram? They are different from Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna have become Sitaram. Huh? So, but still, Anuman, you get it what I'm saying is? Anuman is also spirit soul. He is not ordinary spirit soul, okay? He is eternally liberated. He is an internal Antaranga Shakti of the Lord. Okay? So there is that difference. Antaranga Shakti. Unlike Rupa Goswami, like our Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Rupa Goswami is not ordinary living entity. He is the internal potency of the Lord. Huh? Belong to Radharani. Huh? Expansion of Radharani. Kaya view of Radharani. Not comes under ordinary jiva. Huh? But still spiritual. Chinmaya. Okay. So, so in that way there are two categories. Eternal spirit souls. And we are conditioned spirit souls becoming devotees from the path of, coming from the path of sadhana. You get it? Sadhana. We will become perfect one day by our sadhana. That's why, like example given is like Narad Muni. Narad Muni, in his previous life, he was a Dasi Putra, maid servant, right? So, Murchit Kashaya. There are three kinds of Mahabhagavats. This is not different. You to understand. Three kinds of Mahabhagavats. One is Bhagavad Parshad Deha Prapta. One was attained the form fit to a spiritual form completely. There is nothing material. Okay, the soul and the body are not different. The spiritual body, like Krishna limbs and then Atma is not different. Okay, in the material condition, the soul is there, subtle body is there, and a gross body is there. Okay, Linga Deha, Stula Deha, Linga Deha, and Atma. Like seed. See, for example, you take a peanut inside, right? Peanut is there. On top of the peanut, there's a red little thin covering, is it not? And then on top of it, there's a shell, is it not? Shell is like a gross body. The red thing is like a subtle body, and inside is like a soul, huh? Like that. So we have three bodies, three forms: spirit, subtle body, mental, huh? And then gross body. In the spirit soul also has a physical form, beauty, dress. Understand? Beautiful. But in that beauty also there is different levels of beauty. Okay, understand? Um, not so like that. The Bhagavad Parshada, huh? One who has only inside this soul as the form, and like that is the that one kind. Nirdut, Nirdut Kashaya, meaning even though one has this five, this material body and a subtle body, but he has no conditioning, you know, he is completely, uh, he will not get uh, these gunas, these modes of material nature will not act on him, but he is in the body, Nirdut Kashaya. And Murchit Kashaya, meaning, Murchit meaning unconscious state. He is in the body, but the uh, attachment to this world are like the modes of material nature acting on, they are in like a uh, unconscious state. It will not disturb me. Material nature will not act upon it. So Nirdut these three levels follow. So the first one is the example, like Narad Muni, he is traveling everywhere after getting spiritual form, his transcendental form, like Anuman, you know, he's a transcendental form. Even though appears here, he comes in that spiritual form. huh? And the second level is uh, Sukadeva Goswami. His body is made out of like this, but he will not, the modes of material will not act on him. Maya will not touch him, cannot touch him. That's why he's like, no clothes, nothing, but still ladies didn't bother because they didn't feel that he has that identification. Male, female, like all these things is beyond that, beyond modes of material nature. But he is still in this body. And Narad Muni, as a son of maid servant, he has this material body, subtle body is also there, but is in the unconscious state. It will not get, is still in the bhava, bhakti and all that. Even though modes of material nature is there, but it will not take a prominent position. It will not disturb it. It is there. See, suppose if you are given a anesthesia during operation, right? Like this I was telling. Try to see this. I think I've given you this example, but again, suppose somebody getting operated or yourself operated, right? You must have heard or talked to some relatives, friends, something. Doctor, what does the doctor do first? He gives you anesthesia so that we will become unconscious. Local or general, okay? General meaning he completely unconscious. Local meaning that part of the body, maybe hand or feet, will not feel any pain or anything. You are aware, something is going on. So he'll give you local, that part. You get numbness, you know, where you don't feel. Meaning the sensor things becomes inactive, makes them inactive by some kind of chemical for a short time. Then he starts operating, cutting this and that. So you don't feel pain and like that. Suppose if the doctor does not give anesthesia and he starts cutting, what he will do? You think doctor will be alive? He will kill him or he will hurt him. Ah, yeah. And he also get, see what I'm saying? It will be danger for both and other surrounding nurses and all. And so, same way God has given that anesthesia for us, forgetfulness of who we are, what we were thinking, many, many lifetimes. It is there. Suppose you remember 1 year ago, same day, same time, what were you doing? You might say, oh, Harikatha. What exactly Harikatha? Do you remember? Exact details we don't know. Minute to minute, we don't know. Right? We forget. Even month ago, what we did, 1 week ago, even yesterday, same time, same, we don't. So forgetfulness is there. But imagine if you are given remembrance of all the things that happened minute by minute for the last 1 year. You think we can be normal? We go crazy. We cannot handle. Oh, that happened, this happened, that. You cannot concentrate. You cannot, breathe. You cannot drink. I mean, you go. Yeah, what? Imagine, remember all the previous lives. Oh, ba, 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 ba. That's why the greatest mercy of the Lord is forgetfulness. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. Understand? We cannot handle. But if you are capable, He will give you some remembrance. This is what the dream is all about. Okay? He gives you some glimpse. Dream is what? Like we were telling. The impressions is there. Lord knows what is best for you. So during the dream, He takes that thing, impressions, and He gives you, shows them. You think He's showing through this ear, these eyes? No, internal eyes. So internal eyes of what? This subtle body. So the dream indicate that we have a subtle body. Tell me, who can who can deny that he doesn't have a dream? Everybody has to accept, right? I cannot see your dream, you cannot see others, right? Mine. Isn't a private affair, right? Understand? So, so it shows that we have so that means Shastra must be true. Otherwise, you tell me in your medical books, you are reading anatomy, physiology, you know, how dream happens. Of course, everybody and that we are not seeing the dream through these eyes, but you are seeing dream so clear, so real. It seems like, right? You understand? So this shows that the scriptures, what they are talking, is real thing. Okay. Otherwise, it cannot explain. I also read anatomy, physiology, no, did brain surgery. You don't see any eyes in the brain. Okay, you know, it's so amazing. Mind is different from the brain. Okay. One time, one person asking doctor, "Sir, what is mind?" Mind is mind. Mind is the synapses, nerve system, conduction. Sir, what is mind? The communication, the electrical signal, pulses and all. Sir, what is mind? Never mind. They cannot answer. They really don't answer. But this is so basic thing. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is hammering again and again and again. You, fools. I'm sorry. It's that don't waste time on the mundane thing. That will not lead us anywhere. You can imagine if they cannot explain what is basic mind, how they can explain anything else. They cannot explain how the dreaming takes place, you know, which is everybody's. Can you say, suppose if somebody says, I'm dreaming this one, are you crazy? Can they say anything? Even a doctor also dreams. He is also a doctor. He has read anatomy, physiology. But their books explain this basics? So, you know, I will tell you, that's why I'm saying we have not understood whatever knowledge we have from these mundane things is how much? Point zero 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 1%, maybe. And then 99.9999999999999. We don't know. Then how 0.001% can take us anywhere? So let us not waste time on that. Okay. Things are going to happen in this world. Let us not get involved or get disturbed or anything. It will go on. So focus on the spiritual aspect. Do sadhana, do chanting, do ekadasi. Get up early. Okay. Chant. Remember our Guru Varga's instruction, right? So, 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 um, I think we answered all of these questions. So, animals equal. See, the soul will be remains same. What is the difference between an animal and a human, for example? Okay, the subtle body is also same, but the gross body will be different. You know, see, we have three bodies, right? Gross body. Gross body can be trees, humans, animals, bacteria, whatever, all that thing. Little ants, everything. But the Sukshma Deha is also same for all of these bodies. Sukshma Deha does not change. It's so Sukshma. It's imagine. But you look at a small ant, tiny thing. I mean, it's moving, this, that. And they have these three things, right? Willing, feeling, and thinking. Huh? Willing, feeling, and thinking. They can feel it. You know, they also think, and they desire, will, these things. This gross body, this in jada, inert matter doesn't have these three things. These three qualities makes us chetana, you know, conscious entities. So uh, now big debate is going on. Where does this consciousness comes from? At least they have the brain, at least someone to accept, yes, there is consciousness different from matter. But they are still struggling. Consciousness, how it came into existence. So far they never question, at least now they have come to that point. Some people still, scientists are thinking, no, consciousness must have come from the matter. You know, they don't have even that basic understanding. Now, try to see. Our Param Gurudev, Bhakti Prajnan Keshav Goswami says, cause and effect. Okay, understand? Cause and effect. No? For the effect, right? There is some cause. Now, there is some property in the effect that must be there in the cause, is it not? Is it not? See, for example, I'm giving an example. Um, Jaggery, okay? I don't want to use the word sugar, okay? Sugar is very bad, okay? Everybody understand jaggery, right? Sweet, sweetness, jaggery, huh? Good, huh? Yeah. So that is sweetness is there. Now you take the water, put the jaggery into the water, it gets dissolved, right? Now the water tastes sweet or bitter? Sweet, right? So that sweetness came from where? The sweetness of the jaggery, is it not? Not the water. Or water is a medium, it dissolved, right? So to the water tasted sweet because of the jaggery, the cause. Effect is sweet water, cause is the good, right? Jaggery. Is it not? So same way, if matter, suppose we have consciousness, right? Willing, feeling, and thinking, these three, right? Icha Shakti, huh? Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, huh? Anubhava Shakti, huh? Experience. Jnana Shakti, Icha Shakti, and then Anubhava Shakti, huh? These three. Is there in the sentient being, Chetana. In the mundane objects, like inert objects, they don't have these three things. Consciousness. So how what the mundane object doesn't have these three things, and conscious being has these three, how it will come when the cause has no qualities of that? You understand what I'm saying? So the the consciousness cannot come from unconscious matter, dead matter, basically dead. How it can come? This is what they are struggling for. Now. Conscious has somehow came from the dead matter. This is what you know. So they are struggling even the basic things like that. So you think you can expect any solution for our life from these things. So that's why don't waste time on these silly things. They are not even worthy of considering their things, okay? Should be thrown out. But of course, we have to, keeping this body, you have to do something. Do, but don't give priority to this thing. Understand? You do as a duty, as your source of life or, something, income or something. But don't think that that's it. Huh? You'll be totally mistaken for it. So, Um, the different categories is there. So it's amazing, how, and the subtle body is there, like remember, and we cannot see it. These gross senses cannot see it. But you cannot deny it is not there. Because like for example, dream, I gave you example of dream. They cannot explain. Explain by, they are trying to explain through, they want to see through the microscope. Ah, can you see our mind through microscope? Ah, then they cannot see even an atom or electron. How? See what I'm saying? So it's a sheer waste of time. So I hope this question was made very clear. Um, and the companions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the eternal associates of Chaitanya, eternal associates, they have a Nitya Siddha, Nitya Siddha, Sadhana Siddha, no, eternally associated. They will come down here. Material world will not influence them. Like I've given an example. Suppose, take an example. New York, for example. Yeah. There is an Indian embassy in New York. It is in America, but within the boundary of Indian embassy, the law is followed is Indian law. Ambassador goes in a car. Wherever he goes, it is Indian law, even within America. But he is in America. Same way, the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come down here, Krishna's associate. But this material world, modes of material will not touch them. They have descended. That's why they are descended. They say it will not touch them, but appear like ordinary, normal, because we are ordinary. If you wear a red glass, everything looks red. You think everything is red because the eye, right? Same way, we are conditioned by the modes of material nature. We see everything made up of material nature. This is the thing. That's why don't judge spiritual matters or spiritual people, Gurudev and Param, Guru Varga, by material senses. Will be mistaken. It may appear like that ordinary, but they are not. And you can see by their extraordinary activities, Leela. So, they are companions of them, are actually descent. Like Rupa Goswami. Who is Rupa Goswami? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Right? Is an internal potency of Radha, an expansion of Kavya of Radha. Internal potency. It's not ordinary jiva. Eternal associate. And they come down. And you can see Rupa Goswami going through so many days like ordinary person. But he is not. So, like that. But the spirit soul, they are all spirit soul. See what I'm saying? So, I think we covered all of it. Any other question? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When Srila Brahma Deva recite the Brahma Samhita, see, Brahma appeared by the desire of the Lord. And like same way, it is trying to see by his senses where he come from. He coming from the navel of the Supreme Lord. So he like in that Srishti Leela, we saw. I think sometime back we sent you that picture, right? Srishti Leela, navel, coming like that. He's there, but he's going. He cannot make up thousands of years. Yes, searching, he could not. Then he failed. He said, "No way, I cannot find my source." You know. So when you come to the point of uh, that I cannot do, understand? I need help. Of course, Brahma is not ordinary, but he is going through that leela, okay, to show us an example. As long as we think I can do myself, I can see, then miserable, we cannot do anything. So Brahma said, no, that I can see. Then he heard the word tapa. What does tapa meaning? Austerity. Heard a voice. See, he heard sound. First thing he heard is sound. Tapa. Do austerity. Do sadhana. Then for thousands of years. Then Lord mercifully, see, with mercy. He gave this flute song. Through flute song, he made him Dvija, initiated him. Gayatri mantra, like, huh? Different Gayatri mantras. Then he realized, see, as long as he was seeing the material energy, understand, he could not make out what he can see. But Krishna gave him initiated him, Gayatri. He gave spiritual strength and also spiritual knowledge. Then he realized, wow. So chanting Gayatri mantra, Kama Gayatri, right? Gopal mantra. First he got Gopal mantra. Huh? Gopal mantra. Krishna is going, Gopi Jana Vallabhaya Swaha. Gopi Jana Vallabhaya Swaha. Gopi Radha. Jana, all the gopis. Vallabha, that is Krishna. So all the three is there. Radharani, gopis and Krishna. Gopi Jana Vallabhaya Swaha. Huh? Internal potency, Swaha. Huh? Chanting. Then uh, we saw the spiritual world, Govardhan, Golok Vrindavan, we saw that. Then he recited, it came through. What he is saying in the spiritual eye, okay? Meaning is Siddha Deha, meaning is spiritual eye. Internally in meditation, spiritual eye. He saw that. And then he reciting this. Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Adir Govinda Sarva Karna Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Vruksha Laksha Vruteshu Vrishabhi Abhipam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochane Santa Sadaiva Vrudyesha Vilokyayanti Yam Shama Sundara Achentya Gunaswaru Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Kanta, Sri, he saw everything. And then he recited. So, This is the effect. Huh? Uh, and I think our time is up. So we pray, we continue at the this question and answers of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati talk. It's so inspiring. You know? And it's a big injection. You understand? Spiritual injection. You go to see a doctor, he gives you some injection. What usually injection meaning, at least in India, is all steroid. Okay, that's why don't go and take steroid. You'll be so this is a spiritual steroid. Okay, you know the no? The question, the answers are spiritual steroid. Injects and brings us life. He makes us alive. You know? So we are indebted for him. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is not ordinary soul. He is actually Antaranga Shakti of the Lord. You know? Swarupa Shakti is very, very dear to Rupa Goswami. What he is teaching is no different from Rupa Goswami. Huh? Rupa Manjari, Rangam, Nayana Manjari, like that. So we are indebted for him and we pray the lotus feet to bestow upon a small particle of mercy and makes us connect to the spirit group. Our Guru Varga. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Kanot pranams to everybody. Sorry for the delay.
Dandavad Params Gurudev. Thank you so
Hare
Hare
Krishna
much.
Gurudev, Dandavat
Hare.
Pranams.